Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger and I am coming at you, of course, with League of Legends. This is the comeback game that I was talking about in the Rammus one, where my team goes down really bad. I think at one time we're down like 12 kills, something like that. We're down like 8 to 20, and the enemy team's vein is really fed. But we managed to dig our heels in, we managed to hold on. We managed to frustrate the enemy team playing defensively. We react to a few situations. We get a few lucky breaks, and it all turns around for us in the end. Oh my, pardon me. I'll get to that in a second. Really strong game for everybody involved. Just to let you know, this is from, as you can see, Sewanis or Gold Foxes perspective. I know they pronounce it Sejuani or whatever, but if I'm actually going to pronounce it that way, it sounds much better pronounced as Sewani, and it just sounds more authentic to me, I guess. So I am jungling as Maokai, and there's confusion as to who is going where. They think I'm going mid. Yeah, I'm going mid with Smite. Sure. Excuse me while I grab a drink. There we go. And so we end up having to send Captain Swiggles into the middle. Xin Zhao goes bottom with Soraka, and going up top here will be Gold Fox on Sewani. Now, let's see. Oh. Normally I wouldn't be able to record this late at night. It's actually 9:30 at night right now, and I wouldn't be able to get away with this. But there's a birthday party going on outside, so most everyone's outside, and there's a lot of noise anyway, so I can get away with doing this. But, yeah, I really got to reset my schedule, so I'm getting up when I used to. I used to get up about 10 in the morning or so. I used to come in and do my recordings. I could crank out 2 in a day if I wanted to, even if they were long, and get them rendered, and that's how I like to do things. But I haven't been able to do that for a while now, because I'm not going to bed till 5 at 6 o'clock in the morning my time, and I'm not getting up till like 2 in the afternoon, and I really got to change that. Even if all I do is get up and do a recording and then go back to sleep while it renders. You know, try and do that and get that set out. I tried to fast forward this earlier, and it crashed. I know you can fast forward this to some point, but something about LOL Replay and this version of Fraps, just for some reason, if you go to try and fast forward the game from time to time, especially at a certain part in the beginning, the game tends to crash. So yeah, I can't fast forward it right now. So that means I gotta find stuff to talk about rather than skip past this boring part where we actually start getting to some kills. I think I'm getting to the safe part where I can fast forward it soon. At least I hope I am. Because if I do this and, yeah. Alright, here we go. Yay, it went safe. I know, there's something about the beginning, it won't fast forward right. I have to go about 3 minutes into the video before I can fast forward. Now, why I skip red and get the golems, as you see, my health is coming up very nicely, and then I go back, is beyond me. I should have gone after the red, but I don't know if I had smite or not. So, yeah, not the best jungling move there, as, you know, I had to go back early. Although, I've picked up my Boots of Speed, and I've got the Regrowth Pendant still. I've got a few extra pots going on, and I'm starting to stomp around. Right now, bottom lane's doing a fairly good job of keeping Teemo and Shaco suppressed, which is surprising. Our Vayne's got the other Vayne pushed up fairly well, but unfortunately this won't last. And trying to go after Shyvana, but miscommunication there almost end up costing me, and I'm forced to fall back. But it gives Sewani some breathing room at least, so she can get in there and and get some kills and whatnot. Interesting matchup up here. You have Shyvana, who's fire, and you have Sewanee, who's ice. So yeah, pretty interesting matchup. Just continuing to farm, stomping along. There's not much of an opportunity for anyone to gank right now. You might have seen a Moo cross through the map right there. Not sure where I'm headed at this point. Oh, I'm starting to look in on Vayne. Looking for an opportunity to try and gank her. Opportunity's just not going to present itself. Oh, it does. I'm sorry. See, she dives in and does get our Vayne. Damn my throat. But I managed to dive in on her, lock her under the turret, and get her killed that way. So I pick up a kill, but they get the first blood, and now their Vayne has an advantage over ours. Now I was hoping this would put our Vayne on the defensive, but unfortunately it doesn't quite happen, and you'll see as time moves on here. Things go fairly slow to start. And interesting, you see a little funny thing if I can be in this area when it happens. A Moo comes to try and pilfer my blue at one point, and well, you'll just have to see. Nothing big, nothing major. Don't jump and gank him all of a sudden, but I found it rather funny, and I was even like, well, hell, I don't care if we lose. That was just too funny. So again, just more stomping around and jungling as the lanes kind of work on each other. And Soraka right now in the lower lane. And Moo trying to come in and gank, but Soraka too far back already. Making sure Moo's leaving. And Xin Zhao returns to the lane as I'm working on getting the red now. And unfortunately, Moo's going to jump in and our Vayne's going to go down there. Yes, I'm going to keep this fast forward. I mean, there's no point in slowing down yet. Pardon me, oh my. Oh, my throat's been bothering me lately. I feel like maybe I'm coming down with a cold. It's quite possible, to be honest, as I just continue to try and keep this lane from being pushed. Now, you've been taken down twice. You should really be playing defensive. But as you can see here, toe-to-toe with a double knockback using the ulti, but nice battle, but you know, not close enough as you went toe-to-toe with Vayne. And that forces me to come back in the lane. I'm just going to stomp up to drive Vayne back more. And I do flash in to try and catch her. Unfortunately, it puts me into the turret. And the Moo comes, and he's going to throw out a bandage toss, but I'm going to be at the edge of it. So he's not going to be able to catch me, and the lane's pushed enough. I made a stab at Vayne, but just, you know, couldn't pull it off right there. I'm really not trying to push the lane at this point. I actually kind of went a little too far in terms of clearing minions, but that's okay. As right now we're down 3 kills to 1. And our Vayne returning to the lane, and significantly down at this point. As you can see, we've already got a Zeal with a Vampiric Scepter versus our Vayne, who only has a dagger with a Doran's Blade, not counting the boots at this point on either one. So that's a major disadvantage. And pushing the lane down here now, you can guarantee Shaco's in here with a nest of boxes. And I wouldn't call it the exact proper way to play Soraka to get a Starfall at all. But I don't know, to each their own. I mean, for me, I don't bother getting Starfall to the end. I think she's auto-attacking. I can't be sure. No, she's doing Starfall. I think she's doing Starfall and she's countering Shaco boxes, because even though they're stealth, her Starfall will continue to hit them and get rid of them. So, you know, interesting thing there. I've never seen that before. I'll have to remember that if I ever lane against a Shaco. And I'm a Soraka. I think at this point I'm starting to look at the bottom lane, looking like it may be able to be ganked. as they're going for a gank up top. And although getting snared, managing to charge forward and getting into the tower is Sewanee, and that's not somewhere you're going to want to be, but getting a little overzealous going for the kill there. And unfortunately wasting the ulti. I don't know why you'd bother throwing it like that, but here I go, moving in and diving in onto Teemo, trying to get him. I get exhausted, but the fight continues, and trying to dive in, popping Teemo up, and oh, so close to getting him at that point, but just not able to pull it off. So frustrating, not being able to get Teemo right there. And I'm trying to tell him, you know, come on, guys. We need to try and get this tower at this point. You know, Teemo's gone for a little bit. It's just us, so that we can pull this up. Unfortunately, Soraka taking tower aggro, and Xin Zhao taking tower aggro as well. And nobody calling Mia on Vayne in the mid right now. You can see she's not here, but still continuing to work on this lower tower, trying to take it down. Trying to make up for a few of those kills as I pull tower aggro. And the tower will go down, but unfortunately there's Vayne coming in. And there's an exhaust. I try and lock her down, but no go there. And Teemo as well. I turn around and knock him backwards to try and slow him down. At this point, I'm doing what I can to try and help Soraka, but no, just not making it in time. But I survive, but unfortunately Soraka does not. So that's giving 2 more kills to the enemy Vayne right now. And if we take a look at the scoreboard, she has 4 of the 5 kills, even though she's died once. And I don't exactly remember where she died. Oh yeah, that's right. I killed her at the beginning. That's right. So 4 of the 5 kills right now going to the enemy Vayne. That's not a good sign. And I immediately realized this is a problem. Quite frankly, I know the enemy Vayne getting fed, it means that I'm going to be dealing with a lot of armor with a lot of physical damage with her shots, and you know, get that true damage from her silver bolts. So I picked up the ninja tabbies to give me the 25 armor. I've also gone the glacial shroud for 45 more. I'm going to turn that into a frozen heart. Of course, I'll have the Randoon's Omen here under the Heart of Gold. And oh, I missed it up here. You can see a Moo coming back. I don't believe I was down here while I was talking about that, and I missed it, and I knew it. What happened is, and I'll just have to explain it, is a Moo tried to steal my blue. And he was in there working on it. To be honest, if I turned around and stood, even with his red buff, if I stood toe-to-toe with a Moo, I probably could have beaten him. But he tried to steal my blue buff, and he was there working on it. And I had stomped into the bush and stopped right here. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and he was just knocking it down and beating on it. And just as it got low enough, I smited it and stole it, and I just stood there laughing hysterically at my chair. And as you saw in the chat there, as you know, thanking him for doing my work, he wasn't too happy about that. So I got the blue buff for nothing more than a smite. Man, I don't believe I wasn't watching the mini-map at that point just to show you what had happened up there, because it was real funny. And at this point, I'm like, well, if we lose, it doesn't matter to me. I've had my entertainment. So, not much going to happen at this point, as though, if I remember, just more jungling, more laning. We managed to take that tower out, so that helped us in terms of gold in that respect. And setting up in the mid lane, I think someone comes wandering in on us here. An interesting double ward sitting there. There's a Moo! And he's going to unfortunately get away. Too bad though, it was a nice scare. And getting a little bit of health knocked down on him. Still not entirely sure what we're waiting for. I think what may end up happening here shortly Yep, there we go. Amumu decides to go for the blue buff. Xin Zhao, Soraka, and myself are still here. We know that Amumu is injured. He's going to be more injured. And he tries to flash over wall, but there we go with either a ward or CV placement. He uses his ulti to try and escape, but lock him down again and pick him off. Yeah, that was a clairvoyance that allowed us to continue sight on him. Now at this point, I'm actually going to try and give this buff to Soraka. I'm going to try and give the Ancient Blue Golem to her, but it's not going to work out that way. I'm going to throw a sapling, and yeah, the sapling explodes right at the wrong time, and then I end up getting the buff again. And Vayne picking up another kill for the team, now getting 5 kills. So that's just really not in our favor. And I've really just determined to myself, I'm just going to build anti-Vayne. The Amumu's proven not to be much of a threat in terms of damage. Shyvana's not being much of a threat in damage. If we take a look here at the enemy Shyvana, you know, she's got a frozen mallet. She's still building tanky. Teemo, he looks like he's going hybrid, but still he hasn't done a lot. So only the Vayne right now is turning out to be a major threat. Considering how many times it's been killed, actually it's got a good CS going on both sides. But only the Vayne is a threat. And you see already getting a Bloodthirster down at the 21-minute mark in the game. And going up top here, picked up Shaco up in this area with a triple gank. And for a while, you know, I do have high hopes in this game that this will be one of those games where the enemy gets more kills, but we end up winning because it's just being more organized in terms of not trying to base everything off one player. As we just go in to bully down this tower, and there it goes, picking up a second tower for the team. So despite being down 3 kills, and they're all going to this one enemy Vayne, who's jumped into the tower again. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but just not going in our favor yet again. And not sure what she's doing at that point. She gets knocked back. I don't know if she had her ulti or not, but no, not a good use of the exhaust there. You know, Shaco's there, Vayne's there, and trying to take down the tower, but there's just too many of them there. So it's time to try and back out. And Vayne, interestingly enough, keeps picking on me. Between me and Sewanee, I would think we're the two people that she doesn't want to attack as the fake Shaco there. Because we are building as the tanks right now. So I really would figure we're the ones that you don't want to bother with. You want to try and get Xin Zhao, who's going to be our main damage at this point. Again, taking a look at the build, he's got a BF sword. Not nearly as far along as Vayne, who, interesting, traded in her Bloodthirster for a Black Cleaver. I think she did that because she saw how much armor we were starting to build up. As you see, Sewanee here built up some armor. I've got armor built up. Going in for some health there with the Ninja Tabbies on the two of us. So I think maybe she went to Black Cleaver, seeing how much armor we were starting to build in hopes that would help. But when I start building complete anti one to a character, I usually go that way in the extreme. And the Mumu going to come in and initiate, and I knew it was coming, and I don't know why they didn't see it. And I tried to go after Vayne, but everyone's going after a Mumu, and I don't understand why. And unfortunately, I'm going to go down to that, and no, you got the throw-in for a chance to escape. Why are you going to continue fighting? Does not make sense, as the enemy Vayne is going to get away, and yeah, we're going to get aced at this point, going down 3-12. And just take a look here, 9-1 to start. I mean, in all due honesty, they just continuously kept pushing, and they were fighting a Mumu. I was the only one that jumped for Vayne at that point. If we had all jumped on Vayne, she would have died. I'm almost certain of that. But what can you say? I do finally manage to pick up the Frozen Heart, which will help in terms of reducing attack speed a little bit, and you know, give me quite a bit of armor to combat against Vayne. But right now I'm also needing health, so I'm pretty sure that I'm working on getting Shirelia's, which will help with a little bit of the in terms of the health department. Because I'm just going to return to the jungle and try and farm up some gold. I just don't believe that with Amumu coming in, everybody walked into his ulti at that point. The only one that wasn't caught in Amumu's ulti was me, and I don't know, what can you say? I believe, yeah, I'm working on getting the blue buff right now. Just poking in and seeing if Dragon's still there. Be a good time to pick up Dragon, or try and pick it up. Now take a look at Vayne now. She's got another BF sword and a dagger, and interestingly enough, really here, traded off the Black Cleaver for a Bloodthirster again. Oh no, that was our Vayne. God, I've got him confused. Wow, that makes me look like an idiot, doesn't it? Yeah, theirs has a Bloodthirster, ours has a Black Cleaver, but she's got another BF sword and a dagger in there, working for the Phantom Dancer and something else. And man, just things not looking in our favor right now. We're trying to keep it defensive. You know, we're trying to get them to make a mistake at this point. And I told Arvane to go down and clear out this minion wave, try and get some farm in. But Shyvana is going to push this turret up top with very little in terms of opposition, and running away because, yeah, getting caught out of position, Arvane gets taken down again. And their Vayne taking tower hits down bottom, but still just able to bring that back. The two tanks coming down to drive her out, and you know, it'd probably take the two of us to do that. And the Mumu coming in again, going for the ulti, but being able to charge out of it. And I don't know if you really want to tower dive in, but Sewanee being a little overzealous here, as I've actually told him, "Oh, what are you doing? Don't go in. We're no match for the two of them." But not listening. But fortunately, Xin Zhao will be starting to make his way down. I know I can't hold this tower by myself, just because I can't clear out minions fast enough. And yeah, our mid turret falls, and I'm trying to hold this tower, but in comes Xin Zhao, and Vayne caught on the wrong end of the tracks, and finally taking her out will be Xin Zhao. And a good 500 bonus gold in his direction, definitely something that's needed, as they're continuing to rock back and forth now, as we're starting to fall in turrets. We're down 10 kills right now at 14-4. The turret count's been evened up. I don't know if we got Dragon. I think we did. And there goes Shyvana. That turret's going to fall right there. And gone. So now we are also down a turret, let alone our kills. So things not looking particularly well for us. Our Vayne still being fairly aggressive, as they're looking to shut down Shyvana, but I don't know why I didn't come around through the back to try and get her if they were going to try and gank her, but didn't happen. As I have picked up Shirelia's, gaining another 330 health and some good health regen at this point. And I don't know why it targeted Xin Zhao. I guess I can't target myself through that. There we go. I'm up around 2,500 health right now. And again, just look at the scoreboard. Just look at this Vayne. She's got a Black Cleaver now. She's got a Bloodthirster. She's got a Zeal. She's got the Pickaxe rolling. She's probably going for a Infinity Edge at this point. Their Amumu's fairly tanky. Their Shyvana hasn't spent much gold. Their Shaco going an AP Shaco, which is already a detriment to the team, and trying to get Amumu, but that's just a bait in, and again, going after Vayne, but just not going to turn into my favor, and eliminating the fake Shaco there. Again, the focus going on in Mumu, and I don't know why. I mean, he was there and they almost got him, so it wasn't bad, but it's not something I would have recommended anyways. And unfortunately, trying to hold back in the defensive posture, trying to get them to commit to make a mistake. As you see, their Vayne is already 18, and you look at our team, 14, 14, 15, 13. Major disparity right there. So just major problems going against us. All in all, I normally would have surrendered in a situation like this, but I don't know, somewhere in there I think I've seen glimmers of hope that will survive. Is their Shyvana coming the wrong way? And again, not someone we need to really be going after. We don't need to be expending our abilities on Shyvana so that we have nothing left to blow Vayne up with. And again, just not much happening. It's going to turn soon from not much happening to us getting our ass kicked again. And that'll pretty much come when Xin Zhao breaks off. And I believe heads to the bottom lane to clear out the minion wave that'll be down there. There he goes. No, not yet. This happens a lot in this game, just a standoff in the middle. And there goes Xin Zhao to the bottom lane. This will leave us at a disadvantage. A 4v5 with a very fed Vayne. And it's going to happen shortly, I believe. And yeah, here it comes. I realize the bad situation. We're not organized, we're not together. And in comes Shyvana, and the Vayne does go down, but yeah, just take a look at what's happening. Plenty of damage, but just not getting the kills. And getting a Mumu, getting 2, but that's a 2 for 4 right there. We only got 2 kills, and they got 4. So, not in our favor. They're going to try and push the turret. And here comes Xin Zhao, who would have made a major difference. You just see the damage he puts out on the Shaco right there. And manages to save our turret at that point. As another fight going against us, down 7 to 18 right now. Just in a really bad position. But not having given up yet, I'm still building onto my armor. Still working to counteract Vayne at this point. I'm going to come up here and try and clear out some of these minions. Get some farm going again. Continuing on. I usually clear out a couple minion waves before I retreat. At least the minion wave I'm on and the one that follows after. In hopes that the lane will stay going in that direction. Now seeing things building up in the middle yet again as they try and push down towards the middle. I'm working on a rune page right now specifically for Sewanee, and actually I'm going to use it for Rammus as well. I've had to scrap the rune page I was working on and working for a new one. At this point, I think we were kind of looking for Baron, or I was worried that they were at Baron, and so putting a ward up there, and fortuitous move later in the game, having a ward there. An AP Shaco, man, I mean, that's just, you know, that's more like lulz. So I think that maybe something else that helped us catch up is their Shaco. Their Shaco was detriment to their team going AP. So it really ended up kind of screwing them over in the end, because when we did come around and start making a comeback, he was no position to help. He had no way he could help. He had no way to assist them other than some boxes and his 2-shift poison. As you see, our Xin Zhao is starting to power up. Not greatly, but he's getting there. Our Vayne has got some farm going on and is starting to catch up to their Vayne. And we see this going on right here. The Amumu and Vayne going for their going for Baron. And a quick smite getting there just in time to smite it. Able to steal away the Baron from my team and taking out Amumu in the process. And Shaco going for Deceive. And oh look, there's Teemo. Look, there's not Teemo. The last thing I think you want to do is turn around and run into an entire team with Baron. But that's what happened. Whew, I need a drink. So again, as I mentioned, fortuitous move, having that sight up there, that ward up on Baron, and able to get in there and give it a smite and steal it away from them. You know, it kept making me wonder if their Amumu had smite, and he did, and why he didn't use it, I don't know. Their Amumu going heavy armor as well, and I don't blame them considering our makeup. Our two main damage dealers are AD. And again, sending our Vayne off to farm the creep wave coming down from the top lane as we take another defensive posture in the mid lane. And I've now, of course, picked up Thornmail, so I'm really just pouring on the armor right now. 300. No, that's not me.
We will endure.
Not exactly sure how to check my stats in this. I always thought there was a way, but more or less, I go along the same armor lines and the same build as Sewanee here, as you take a look at the two. But I've managed to get the Randuin's Omen. I've also managed to get the Sunfire Cape. I'm working for Shirelius. I said, oh, I got Shirelius. No, I'm working for Shirelius now, as I kept the GP5 items. But yeah, I've got the Frozen Heart. I've got the Sunfire Cape. I've got the Randuin's Omen. I've built up really heavy in armor and health right now, as I'm sitting just over 3,000, almost 3,200 health. And it's not easy keeping the stats straight when talking from another person's perspective. And again, just building up into the middle towards a confrontation. This time, Xin Zhao coming up to join us, as we will definitely need his damage. And right there, committing to an engagement. But without the team backup, this Shyvana, she'll go low and be forced to flash out. And throwing down the ulti as our Xin Zhao manages to take down their Vayne. And Sewanee will go down, but just standing in there, picking up a double kill. And there we go, picking up the last kill. I believe, I would like to think that was an ace, but it's not. Unfortunately, Shaco did stay alive. But that's what I was talking about, just holding them in a commitment, holding them in a defensive posture until they make a commitment at the wrong time, and that's exactly what happened right there. Committing against us while we have the Baron buff, and they end up going down because of that, as Shyvana committed into the fight without her team being in position to help back her up, and they end up losing 2 turrets because of that. And now we're close the gap a little bit, as we're down 7 kills. We were down considerably more, I believe. What was it? We were down like, I think I said we were down like 12 kills. So we managed to pull up quite a bit. And we're getting our farming going on, and you know, know, we're starting to really close the gap in terms of build. Xin Zhao going very well right now. Sewanee going pretty strong. Our Vayne has caught up to their Vayne in terms of what they've bought. And again, I'm just piling in the stats now. I've got tons of armor to counter the enemy Vayne and to counter Shyvana. And so that's really strong. And of course, we get a really nice support. Soraka's starting to go there. So really just building on making sure that their hyper carry at this point in Vayne is not so effective by building that armor and keeping her out. Teemo in there, he is going hybrid, but I don't know, just not very effective for some reason. He's not building the hybrid, I would think, you know, especially, you know, he went and got, where is it? Here, the Rylos Crystal Scepter. It kind of looks like he's building a Wriggles. Maybe he's going for a Blood Razor. I don't know, but that build is just a little messed up, so I think that's why he wasn't overly effective. And building up for another confrontation in the middle again. And I'm telling my team, well, be careful this time, guys. We had the Baron buff last time, and that gave us a major advantage. We don't have the Baron buff this time, so we don't know if we'll still be able to take them like we did. Looking to try and set up to get Dragon, but just not willing to take off all down there at the same time. And there's the fake Shackle coming in. It's interesting sending him in by himself and not doing anything with it. It's just a waste of an ulti right there. Now look at that, getting some nice damage in there against trying to initiate and just trying to keep him off Sewanee at that point as they tried to initiate on her. And going after their Vayne, but major mistake at this point. Shyvana dives past, but that's going to leave their Vayne completely exposed and going to take her out. And taking out Teemo as well, putting them down 2 right away, putting down 3 at that point. And Shyvana also goes down. And there we go. Picking up a Mumu as again, through frustration and miscommunication at that point, they make a mistake by Shyvana diving past, leaving their Vayne wide open for many of our teammates to jump on. Teemo being hurt, staying too close, being able to be picked up by Xin Zhao. That allowed Shyvana to be picked off by our Vayne, and then of course being able to take down the Mumu. And the only one able to get away is Shaco, and he's not going to stop 5 people rolling. And interestingly enough, he keeps poking at me. You know, at this point, you're talking almost 4,000 health on me as I've picked up another Giant's Belt. And I'm working my way towards, I believe, a Warmogs. Because I'm pretty sure I've got plenty of armor between Randoons, Ninja Tabbies, Frozen Heart, and the Sunfire Cape. I've got plenty of armor despite not having a Thorn Mail. I focused on armor items that could help give health, except for the Frozen Heart, which, you know, I need for mana at that point. And look at this, folks. 17 to 21. We've closed the gap even further, now within 4. So I went back. Did I manage to... Nope, I haven't managed to cap that off yet, but... You know, the tail of the tape is starting to tell us we got a 4 and 3. Sewanee not doing great, but she's got 8 assists. Our Vayne 5 and 9, still down 4. And here's me, 6 and 2, doing fairly strong. And our Soraka 13. And the assists, you know, it's just... I don't know how to explain it, except that it's working. You know, we're keeping their Teemo neutralized. We're keeping their Amumu neutralized. Their Shaco is of no help whatsoever right now. So, yeah, you're really looking at some major issues on their side. I don't know if they're trying to bait us over here, or if they're seeing that, you know, trying to figure out where we are. But we're just standing and waiting right now, as I've gone and I've picked up the T's as well. I spent the extra money on the T's, and just deciding to initiate and taking out Shaco at that point. Checking for wards and other items there, taking those out, taking away their sight vision. And there we go, as we push it on Baron. They're trying to look to steal, and here comes Shyvana. We just continue to focus on Baron at that point, and they try and steal it, but they're not able to get it, as we just blow Vayne up at that point, take out their main source of damage. And I'm focusing on Teemo. Unfortunately, Xin will go down, but there we go. Our Vayne, just all kinds of back and forth, with Soraka picking up another kill on a Mumu. As I continue to chase Teemo around, he manages to juke, but he's going to run into some major problems, and there we go, finishing him off. I give them an A for effort trying to steal Baron, but just not able to get it, not using Smite to try and pull it off. And we managed to turn around and pick up another team fight, and now we're within 1 kill, and we've pushed the mid. We've pushed them back, and right now my sights are set on going down the mid lane and doing what we can to try and get towers, try and get these Nexus towers. As Shaco continuing to try and pick on me, and getting the tower at that point. And yeah, time to fall back, because I'm pretty sure they're coming up. Yep, there's the enemy Vayne right now, so we just decide to pull out. And we managed to pull 1 Nexus tower down. So we've definitely closed the gap at this point. As, we're starting to get up in there. 8, 2, and 12 right now. I'm sitting. Our Xin 5, 4, and 10. 2, 4, and 10. 1, 3, 16. I think the difference is getting to be in the assists at this point. And the fact that we're able just to blow up their main damage dealer in Vayne. And like I said, that Shaco, getting in there, like you said, he was just stabbing away at me. He's an AP Shaco, so that stabbing's not going to do anything. This is just not a good build in terms of Teemo. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if this Hyun knew how to build a hybrid team, or maybe he was trying to go AP. But I don't know. It's just not working out. Shyvana with a Hextech Gunblade of all things. No. Again, no. You just don't do that. So you get an AP Shaco, get a Teemo that I'm pretty sure doesn't know how to build. You get Shyvana with a Hextech. The only one that looks like they know what they're doing is Vayne right now. And a Mumu who's actually got a nice set going on right there. In terms of being tanky. But just not tanky enough. As we continue to just poke away at the tower and manage to take that down. And now we've got all towers pushed up to their base. I'm not sure when these towers fell. Probably when I was talking about Shyvana and all that, we went up there and killed it, or minions did. And I'm thinking that inhibitor needs to go down. If we're going to initiate a team fight with Baron, while we still have it, it's going to fall soon. I'd like to try and do that where there's no turret. And our job is just to take that inhibitor down and keep them chasing super minions, which will help prevent them from pushing in and throwing in the ulti there. I wouldn't say this is the wisest thing, diving in with a turret there. I see damage starting to go against us because of the turret. And I'm doing what I can to try and protect some of the lower health, but yeah, there we go. We do get their Shyvana, but they get our Vayne as well. And their Vayne's still up, but right now this turret being pushed by our minions and working to take it out, not quite getting it, coming over to assist though the rest of the team. as you're just driving Vayne out at that point. And we will pick up inhibitor number 2 now. So maybe not the best of engagement, but in the end it works out in our favor, as we were able to pick up another turret and an inhibitor, and now we've tied up the kills. We definitely got a turret advantage with 2 inhibs down at this point. And we have poised ourselves into a winning position from an area where, by most accounts, in most games, we probably would have lost. You see by my build here, I have picked up the Force of Nature, and just deciding to tank out this turret here. Excuse me one sec. To use my ulti, negate the damage, and finish out that turret. And here we go, taking down inhibitor number 3, putting them in a nearly impossible position to come back from with 3 inhibitors down. At this point, the only way that we have to play this is to contain them. As long as we contain them, as long as our lanes continue to push, which with super minions in each lane, 2 super minions per lane now, as you can see here, all we have to do is contain them, and our super minions will do the rest of the work. As we just get more and more and more minions into the base, they'll be forced to try and fight them. We can continue to clear out their minions by using our ranged abilities and forcing them to use everything they have to get the super minions. And just try to make sure that their minions don't get out and delay ours too often. Just hold them in a containment, because I have done this before. As you see this tower, you see it slowly falling here as super minions continue to beat on it. And this is kind of the slow way to win, although it doesn't end this way, I'm pretty sure. As there you go, you just look, see the damage that's being put out. There's an engagement now. They realize in trouble. They realize they're going to have to do something, but Shackle going down immediately, and unfortunately our Vayne will go down to theirs, but ours does have, there we go, standing back up, getting right back into the fight. And continuing the fight over here. And there we go. Taking out Xin Zhao, getting a double kill on Amumu and Shyvana. Both their turrets are down now. Our enemy team is in the base. They've taken several kills. And there goes Teemo. And now looking just to finish off Vayne. Vayne's going to run away. And I'm just going to charge the stairs because I know the game is over. But there you go, folks. An amazing turnaround as far as I'm concerned. Down our team with 8 kills, their team at 20 or 22 at one point. But managing to hold back, managing to keep them from coming in, getting a few good engagements, forcing them into frustration and making mistakes, as well as reacting to some situations like where they tried to take Baron, which is the Mumu and Vayne, and getting a lucky break, like being able to smite it and steal it away from them, turned it around for our team. A great job. By the way, I forgot to mention this was a team of all PC potatoes. I gotta make sure I don't do that, because I really enjoy promoting PC potatoes, because I really enjoy being part of it. But with everything I'm trying to catch up on, my mind keeps dropping all kinds of various important bits and pieces of information. But other than that, folks, this is One Big Bugger. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. If you're not playing League of Legends, follow the link in the description down below. Sign up and start playing. I would greatly appreciate it, as well as you probably won't be disappointed. If you like any kind of PvP or tactical kind of game, this one will definitely be for you. But other than that, One Big Bugger, one hell of a turnaround game for my team. I'm signing out, folks. I'll see you next time.